Hello and welcome to Tiny Blue Games. Today we are playing Wildstar and we are doing another class overview after the beta and all the fun we had. Today is the Spellslinger. I'm on a Spellslinger healer. I don't know. I love the Spellslinger for its heals. I also like the DPS. It's a bit of a different DPS style for me. So I mean, I'm not a huge range DPS, I guess, if that makes sense to people, so I wasn't comfortable with it. But I do enjoy the skills and the idea of, you know, having the pistol, so the quick draw, the rapid fire kind of skills.
It's actually a very unique class when you really think about it.
A lot of them are quite unique, and I do enjoy it. What else?
I think in terms of play style, in a way it almost plays as if it's a damage over time class, because it hits very quick in kind of small, like, quick blows to the target. Like, it's not like extremely crit, like static nuke oriented.
There's some crits though.
Oh, yeah, but it's not a static nuke as, say, an Esper, where the whole.
You can go two ways with it fairly easily.
That's probably fair to say. You could go both ways.
Yeah. I'd say though it's definitely not as static nukey as the Esper, which I wouldn't want it to be. I don't want two classes that play very similarly. I think the way that the Spellslinger actually plays is actually really unique, and I actually really liked it during the beta, actually. Because I thought I'd actually hate it, but I actually really liked the way it played.
You thought you'd hate a lot of classes.
I did.
I forgot to introduce us. I am Cesar Chris. Beside me, I've got Salvage or Ryan, and then on the other side of me, I've got Brandon or Marks. And we all played the Spellslinger, actually. This is the class that we all played
pretty
the most
hard.
Even, I guess.
The most even, right? Because we all got sorta to the high 20 or low 20s, I guess. But we played it even, which was very interesting for us. So we were all sort of interested.
It's a pretty fun class. I mean, the healing is fun. You get to move quite a bit when you heal, which is pretty nice. It's very fun to heal in PvP, actually.
It's actually very true because of the movement. It's got medium armor, or is it light armor?
Light
armor. Light armor. Before I tell everyone the wrong information. Light armor, and it's got the pistols. The pistols are a cool idea. I haven't seen any really cool pistols that I've enjoyed yet. I've seen a few that are quite cool, but
I've seen some in terms of like actual like videos of their end game that look really cool. But actually, in games so far, I haven't seen any that like pop out at me. But it's been like that for quite a couple. Because I mean, we haven't really gotten to play a whole lot of like extremely high level gear where you start to get rewarded with really aesthetically pleasing.
I think for looks, the pistols might just be like the least impressive, because it's just kind of hard to build a nice futuristic pistol with a bunch of like design without actually stopping it from looking like a pistol.
I think the things that will look nice on the pistol will maybe be like the effects around it, like the glows and all that in the future. Like when we get to higher levels, they might have like maybe they'll trail some sort of glow behind them or something like that, which I think could be very cool. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and show you some of the fun times we had on our Spellslingers in the PvP. So enjoy.
Hello everyone, this is me healing on my Spellslinger in the end of our adventure. And what an adventure.
What an adventure it was, yeah. I really like this fight actually on top of the ship here. It's kind of
pretty cool.
It's cool. It
is pretty cool.
Like it gets lost because you do it so many times.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a pretty cool idea.
It's a pretty cool idea. Yeah.
Anyway, so more about the Spellslinger. how did you find healing? Like
it's pretty fun. I like how you can like it's nice that you don't have to aim all of your attacks. It seems your number one basic heal, which I have on number one, the runic healing. You can just kind of click on your target and it'll heal them with a little beam. You don't really need to aim it as long as you can follow them. The one downfall is that it is only single target, so you do have to switch targets often, whereas other healers do have a bit more of aiming their heals, but they can heal more targets in one go.
But we do have a few nice aiming heals as well as
do.
Like, you've got enough AoE that you feel comfortable with it, really.
You do, yeah.
Because you don't even have the Void Spring Circle thing yet, and that is really fun.
I'm pretty excited for that.
Well, we have some footage of it actually coming up. But anyways, it's pretty decent.
It is.
As far as healing goes for adventures.
The Vitality burst is always really nice, too, especially if you combo R with it and then charge it up to the third one, because then you can really
like your elite with it is very good. And then this fight's always a fun time to
Oh.
heal. Because you're
So
just getting knocked
bad.
down all the time. It's actually pretty handy because you have your well, like your runic healing's obviously like instant, like there's no cast time for it, which is nice. As well as you've got that save, sort of the dot and the little instant burst up heal.
Yeah.
It's really nice just to pick someone up if they're about to die.
It is.
And you have a lot of heals you can move and heal with at the same time, which is great.
That is maybe my favorite thing about the Spellslinger is how much you can move while you heal.
I would also say that like just the Spellslinger in general has a lot of mobility and a lot of things you can use while you move. Like even in like not just healing but even DPS, like a lot of it is, you know, you can cast it while like you're actually moving around, and I think definitely you could make them like crazy mobile.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, because you've got the mobility of like your sort of leap forwards, or that's more of a teleport forwards, and like, well, you're stunned.
Yeah.
But things like that. You've got the it's not the
It's
void slip.
Void slip it's like a stealth almost. It feels like you kind of disappear for a second and pop up somewhere else.
So it's kind of mobility. It's kind of to the other people. It's mobility, I guess. And
it's an escape,
I don't know.
I guess
It's an escape for sure. It's just it's an interest. It's unique. So you've got that. You've also got the thing where you can sort of switch places with someone on the battlefield, which is a very interesting way to, because I mean that kind of almost doubles your distance because you're going away and he's going, like it puts him where you want him to be too. So
It's true.
it's almost more handy than just moving away yourself.
I
Because
feel like you could really mess somebody up by doing that, especially against like a warrior or something. If he was about to charge you and then you switch places, then he'd charge in the opposite direction.
well, it also gives him disorient too.
Exactly.
Which would mess them all up if they're trying to like chase you. So that's something, especially if you're to do that almost like if you were right beside them and you were just to go behind them and disorient them and then just unload on them, that would be a crazy amount of like just time for you to do damage. Like it would mess them up good.
Then you could void slip afterwards and then stun them after.
Yeah, no, you'd have a lot of things to do. So we've got some PvP footage here.
Spellslingers, when you heal on them, they are very fun to carry the mask with because I mean you could just kind of run and heal yourself. It's not a big
exactly.
deal.
You just keep runic healing. It takes a few people to be on you to really care. Like
for you to really be worried.
And that's where it would differ from the actual Esper healing as well. As for Esper healing, you know, you don't ever really want to be carrying the mask as the healer because, you know, most of your heals you're going to have to be standing still for anyway, so...
which is unfortunate. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So that's kind of where you can tell that there's a big difference between the healers.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great. Whereas, like, I'd say the Spellslinger healer is by far one of the best single target healers, is you have a lot of... Like, for mobility, and, like, you have a lot of choice for your single targets.
You definitely do, yeah.
You also have a lot of narrow telegraphs, which would be great for sort of more of a single target style.
The Spellslinger healer seems to be more of just lining up your allies correctly.
Yeah. Whereas the medic, you know, is more AoE heals,
The medic,
right?
yeah, you do get a bit of a wider area, but you do get, I think, a little bit less range, it seems.
And then the Esper's kind of like an in-between, where it's
Yeah.
got some of the...
Free
It's got a
form,
mix, yeah, exactly. And it's great that they've sort of done that for people to, you know, choose which ones they excel at, right? Like, it's a different play style for each one.
And even the DPS in this game very extremely, like, they're all different in their own way.
They are.
Well, it's great, exactly. You want each one to feel different, or else there's no point of making all the classes, right? And that's the whole point of us doing these overviews. If we were to do them and they were all exactly the same, why would you watch all of them? Like, you just know what's gonna they're all... Why would you play all of them? Why would you watch all of them? Like, it's just boring if they're all exactly the same. And I think that's almost why they made it so there's only 6 classes, so they could focus on making each one a bit more different.
And unique, yeah.
Whereas a lot of games kind of like... at launch, they have a lot of classes, but maybe some of them start to overlap a little bit in places.
Yeah.
And you don't want that, right? Like, you know, you usually have like the paladin and the, you know, warrior, and they're, you know...
They're different, but they still play kind of the same. They're both heavies with melee weapons.
Yeah,
that tank or
exactly.
do damage.
Like, it's... Or heal for the paladin sometimes. But,
yeah.
you know, it's not a huge difference, whereas, like, you know, you take Spellslinger... And I guess their most comparative DPS would be the Esper, but you have complete different feeling to them. One is the mage, whereas one is more of a roguey, almost hunter kind of thing. Like it's, yeah, like if you know, it's completely different, and it's wonderful that they did that.
Yeah, one feels more of like a static nuke, and the other one's sort of like a unload then move, then unload then move.
Yeah.
One of them's a lot more speed between each of your attacks,
Yeah.
which is great. For capturing, you know, flags and actually like assaulting people with a flag, you've got, a little bit of you've got a lot of burst damage, but you also can carry on following them, which is great. We'll have a bit more footage of that later.
But here's another video of just, actually this is Brandon playing right now.
Yeah.
How he was able to heal himself while moving the
Able
mask.
to just steal the mask and then just walk back and heal myself, because they don't have enough damage to actually ever really do much.
Yeah, you feel that like when you're on and it's nice because you actually have some damage out while you're...
At this point, I think I was a bit of I didn't have all the healing skills I wanted, so I kind of played with rapid fire and the stun for a while just to have something else to use.
Just, to sort of switch it up, which is nice. I mean, we all got a Spellslinger up pretty high.
Yeah, we actually
And I
did.
think all of us spent a fair amount of time in PvP with them. Is that true for like?
Yeah.
All of us thought, these guys are going to be pretty good in PvP.
For a while, I was actually going to save up with my Spellslinger to get the Beast hoverboard with all the honor I had, but then I realized that you need a battleground rating to buy upgrades. It was pretty depressing.
Actually, right here you can see the Void Spring being put down there, which is that circle thing, which is a great heal for a dungeon. What we're doing right now. Actually, I'm the only one in it, but this is some this is some healing on the Spellslinger in a dungeon. It felt great because you have the AoE heal from the circle, which I also use to heal the tank. If you have that going with your runic healing, you keep him at a solid level, which is really interesting. Because just putting the Void Spring down and doing runic healing, you don't waste too much mana, which is essential for these dungeons. Like you need to keep your mana, and that's It's good that they're teaching you this now, because I'm sure when it comes time to raid, you're gonna have to choose when to use what heal, and that's gonna be a big part of being a healer is not wasting your mana, and that's what they're teaching you. Level 20, first dungeon. You got to be smart with this, kids. You don't just use your mana,
as well as just lining up your allies. Like, why use 2 or 3 heals to get 3 people when you can line up one big heal and get
So
3 of them
here's
in
the
one.
DPS, and let's talk about it, because I think I got a different feel in a way from you guys. To me, just the way that it strikes kind of like small hit. I played it like where it strikes kind of small hits, but like very rapidly. To me, it almost reminded me of a dot class. And in World of Warcraft, I actually played a warlock at endgame, and it almost, I don't know why, but it almost reminded me of that in the sense it's a lot of quick kind of small hits, but it all adds up,
Yeah, I actually played it more of as like you have your huge hits, and then you just sort of try to keep your DPS up for a while, and then you do your huge hits again, and that's where your ultimate R ability comes in, because when you choose to use that and say they're all stunned and in a weakened state, you do a ton of damage with your rapid fire or something like that if you just tap it quickly, as well as you've got your charged up ones that do a lot of damage. So there's a lot of ways to take the DPS, which is great. That you can go either more speedy attacks and sort of dots, or you can go the big damaging sort of like long distance snipes, right?
The charged up sniper, and the assassinate looked really good too, actually.
Which we couldn't unlock with the amps, unfortunately. But everyone wants to try it here, so it sounds pretty exciting.
I actually didn't really ever do much DPSing on my Spellslinger. I was just enjoying the healing aspect, because I think I will be making them as my healer main when the game first launches, and I need to decide on who I want as a healer.
Exactly. Well, he's definitely up there for one of my choices as healer. For DPS, I'm not as big on the range DPS, so he might come, a little bit later. What about you, Ryan? Where does this guy place for you on?
For me, well, just because I'm making an Esper at launch, because I just love the way it heals, and it's so in terms, I love the way the Spellslinger plays, but personally, it wouldn't be my top priority at launch to make one right away. And if I were to make one, I'd try purposefully, and it's great that Wildstar did this. You can purposefully try and make it extremely different from the Esper, sit and destroy and like static nuke. I'd build it very different from that, and I'd build it as a mobile. If I were to make a Spellslinger, I'd build it as a very mobile, quick hitting DPS.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. So here we've got some footage of me taking down a mass carrier. I think this is our final scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's no surprise for them. So I'm taking down the flag carrier here. PvP, the DPS felt good. It's hard when you have to stand and actually shoot for a while, but ultimately it was a pretty fun time. good PvP, good DPS, good heals. It's all really fun, and enjoy watching me die now.
It's personally a class that I would want to arena on.
That's true. That's true. No, I'd give them that. I'd want to arena on all of them. What am I talking about? It's just really fun.
Yeah.
It's a very fun class that you can move and heal on in PvP.
All right, so that's our footage of the beta with our Spellslingers. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the Spellslinger as a class, because we really did. We all played it pretty high. We had our different views on it, but we really enjoyed it. Just in its entirety, it was a pretty good, solid class, which I haven't found one that I've hated.
No, me neither. I'd say overall, how I personally would play it was I'd actually build it out like crazy mobility, because I think if built correctly, it has potential to be the most mobile ranged DPS in any game I've really played so far.
That's probably fair. Like, it's definitely got a lot of little tricks to it, which are interesting. So that's our overview. Be sure to stay tuned for more overviews that we're going to be releasing soon, as well as check out the ones on our channel of the classes we've already done. I'll link those to the screen right now. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for some more Guild Wars 2 and some Wildstar videos, because, everyone likes video games. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, because it does help us a lot. And leave a comment, do you guys like the Spellslinger? Do you think they're cool? Do you think you like pistols? All right, so thanks for watching.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's the best goodbye you have. Come on, give them a real goodbye.
Like you mean it.
Like
goodbye.
There
Have
you
a good
go.
one.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to like it. If you have a comment about it, or a suggestion for a future video, please leave one. If you have friends, share it. And finally, and most importantly, subscribe. Honestly, only one of these is red. Click it.